going on, guys? My name is ADC Art Attack. Welcome to today's video. In today's video, we're going to be doing something that you guys have been waiting for, and it's going to be an in-depth drawing tutorial on how to draw Goku. This specific drawing is my own drawing. It's something that I've created myself based on a few different references that I combined into making this one perfect image for me. So this is going to be a little different to my usual guides, so stick with it, and hopefully this will help you. Yeah, because this is going to be a big breakdown. This is something that I've never done. I usually don't do this. I usually say don't break down, drawings like this. But yeah, we're going to really break it down for you and hopefully give you a good lesson here. So let's start off. I'm going to quickly draw a 20 centimeter line, and you guys can follow these measurements because this is going to help you with the basis. So yeah. So we're going to draw a 20 centimeter line, and we're going to divide it into 5 centimeters. So every 5 centimeters, we'll make a little mark. There you go. You can't see the bottom of this. The bottom is not relevant to you guys, so it doesn't really matter. But I have gone down, and I'm just drawing a line across and another line across the top. So again, it doesn't really matter. But let's go to these points. So let's accurately. Yeah, I'm going to draw out this grid, and I'll get back to you once I've done all of this grid and you guys can follow with me. Okay guys, so what I've done here is I've just done the guide. So we've done the 5 centimeter, 5 centimeter, 5 centimeter and 5 centimeter squares, and also I've just made a rough guess of how far I want to go with this little box here. So I've just come across a little bit, leaving myself some room for the hair to arch over. And with this square here, what I've done is I've measured 4 centimeters across this line. So let me just make a mark of this for you guys. Let me zoom in so you guys can get a good look on this. Okay, so this should really help out a little bit more, huh? Alright, so what we've done is a 4 centimeter line along here. And halfway into this line, we've made another line going right up there. So 2 centimeters and 2 centimeters between these two. Again, you don't have to be incredibly accurate with this, but this is a serious in-depth guide that I'm giving you guys. So yeah, just giving you the measurements so you can understand how this drawing came about. Yeah, so and this line up here is a 5 centimeter, obviously with matching this. We've got a 5 centimeter line over here. So I'll just make a mark there. So we've got 5 centimeters here. So again, halfway into this one, so we've got 2.5 centimeters. So here's our center point. Okay, now what we can do is we'll make a rough guess of where the halfway point is for this line here, because we don't need to be incredibly accurate. So let's just say that's the halfway point right here. So from this point, we can sort of start making some guidelines and sort of get an idea of how our character is going to look. And also you'll notice this line just going down here. This was just roughly off of this point here, not quite halfway, maybe a quarter of the way. And just draw this line straight down. It will come in handy later on. Okay, so let's get on with doing some of this drawing. So we just want to make some minor points. So this point right here is sort of where the top lip falls. So what I will do for ease is just draw a line straight across the center point here. And it's just going to give us a good indication of where the mouth and the chin and the nose will all fall onto. The nose will come a little bit below it, but we'll get onto that in a second. So yeah, let's start with these points. So up here, sort of around just below halfway, we can make a little line just coming down here, and we'll go up to there. Okay, now I know this is going to get a little bit crazy, but this is a very in-depth beginner's guide, so hopefully it will help out. Okay, so here's where we're going to do the lip. So we're just going to sort of come along here and just go there and fall just below where that line is. Okay, now hopefully you guys can see that. So as you can see here, it sort of looks like a nose, but this isn't a nose because the head is tilted forward. So yeah, we want to go above now this line that we just made, and we're just going to draw a straight line here. And now we've got a point, we know where that is, and we'll do another straight line just sort of there. Okay, now we can roughly guess how far do we want this mouth to go down. Okay, so let's just assume that the midpoint here will be the bottom of the lip. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to work from that. So the teeth could be a little bit bigger, and that one could be a little bit bigger here. We're just going to be rough with these lines because we don't really need to be incredibly accurate just yet until we get onto the inking phase. So yeah, let's just bring this lip in here. And now with this one, we'll come straight over here. And remember that when you do this, we're going to come down on a bit of a sharper angle, just like this, with the inside of the mouth. So let's use that there. Okay, now let's draw in some teeth. Just up here, we can sort of mess around with the teeth as much as we want. We'll figure that all of this bit out later on. We don't need to go crazy just yet. And yeah, let's figure out the chin area. So the chin, again, we're going to fall back onto this line that we've done. We're just going to come down, sort of coming up a little bit, as you can see. And then maybe about here looks like a good point to sort of start turning inwards. Okay. Now, the reason his chin isn't going to look so square as it usually would is because he's facing downwards. So when he's facing down, it's going to sort of, you know how it gets with a double chin, it sort of squishes up a little bit. So that's what we're happening. That's what's happening here. Okay, so let's bring our line up here, and you know, we don't need to go crazy with that one. We'll just sort of leave a good reference there, so we've got an idea. This maybe we can just bring this part down here, and yeah, I guess we'll just sort of make a line, a little reference just there to the neck. And again, leave a small gap between these 2 points. And we're going to bring this up to about here before we start to go into a sharp turn. So right here is where we're going to start bringing that point up. Okay, now let's just quickly shadow this area off, just so we know where we are. So I like to use crosshatch shading for when I do any sort of markings of where I am or what's happening. So it just sort of helps me out a little bit. Yeah, so let's figure out where the ear will be, because these are just key locations. So sort of figure that out. We're going to be a little bit above here, so it's going to be a bit of a high, just above the center point. It might fall onto the center point of this square up here, but yeah, so about there looks good. So let's sort of do that, and the bottom should fall about here. Okay, so let's bring that up. We don't want to go too high with this, so I don't know. Anywhere about here looks good. The ear, the top of the ear, we're going to line it up with where the nose is. So we haven't done the nose just yet, so let's get on to that, because we need that for the ear, so we can figure out how high we want to go with the ear. Actually, let's quickly drop this in as well. We need that point just there. Okay, so let's figure out the nose. So the nose, we want to give a decent gap between the lips, so we want to give them almost about the same distance. The bottom lip tends to be a little bit bigger, but for anime I think it's about the same, so we'll keep them like that. And yeah, the nose, right, so we're going to come on a sort of small slant, sort of matching up to where the teeth are. So we'll just follow that line right there, just there. We don't need to go crazy with that. I think that's good enough. We don't need to go too far. And again, with the nose sort of here, we'll do a little bit of a roundness to the nose at the end. We don't want to match this line straight up to the tip of the nose, otherwise it looks a bit silly. So yeah, about there would be good. So now let's figure out how high do we want the nose to be. So for now, we're going to give it a little bit of a angle. We don't need to go crazy, but we're going to match it up with just a little bit higher than the corner of the mouth. And we'll go off in this direction here. Okay, so you'll notice the nose does slant a little bit at the bottom. Again, it's all to do with the angle that we're tilting at. So yeah. So what I'm going to do now, guys, just quickly do a little time skip. I'm just going to get some more of these details in, and I'll come back to you when I've done with that, and we'll yeah, go into what I've done. Okay, guys, so yeah, just done a little bit of stuff. So let's get on with the eyes, because I know that's a bit everyone really wants me to do. Yeah, so again, I'm just following the guide that I've laid out for myself, and all I want to do here is just sort of go just above this point where the side of the mouth is, and we're just going to come around and direct ourselves up into a little bit of an angle. Again, I don't want to be crazy accurate, because when I ink, that's when I will adjust things and change things to my liking. But for now, this will give me a little bit of a hand. So let's just sort of go over here. It's a lot easier when you are following a pre-planned guide, but obviously this isn't a very practical way of drawing. This is just something I'd use if I was sort of trying to refine details on something that I've already created. Yeah, I wouldn't really use this to draw, essentially. But you know, I understand it does help out to at least know these points, and that's why I'm giving you guys this. So yeah, with the eyes, because we got a little bit of a stressed Goku, we want to add a little bit of an arch to the lower eyelid, and we'll bring this sharp point just to there. Okay, now we sort of got the eye. Don't ever forget that you got to add these little bits of sort of creases under the eye. They add a bit more emotion. We can also add bits of sort of like, oh, I don't really know what it is. I guess just creases to the nose, where he's sort of frustrated, straining, you know, etc. We can do the same to the outside of the eye, just here. And yeah, with the eye, we want him facing downwards because he's sort of contemplating things that have happened. This is regarding the Krillin death. So yeah, I'll add a little detail here just to show his strain. And yeah, let's go back to the ear anyway. So the ear we want to line up with the top of the mouth. So we're just going to go to about here. And there's no real measurement I've really got to follow with this. Just make an educated guess on what you think it should be. So I think about here looks good. So what I'm going to do is just sort of curve it around and make a nice little ear shape. And there you go. So let's just fill in some details with the ear. And you can do the ear however you want to do it. You can follow this, or you can just sort of do an ear. Yeah, just do an ear however you want to do an ear, really. There's no right or wrong way, I guess. Just do them however I want, really. So yeah, right, we got a good basis. Here we can do, you know, small details like little veins in this cheek. We got like a little drop of sweat. But yeah, let's move on to the body. So, regarding the body, so you remember I made this line here. This line is important for us. We want to come down to about halfway between these 2 points here. So let's just make an educated guess that this is about halfway. And what we want to do is just sort of make the line go across here. This is going to be the chest area. And then we come down, not too far out, but about here to here. And I am so off camera right now. Let's zoom out. There you go. Okay, so we've made the little, yeah, so we've made these little points. We're just going to fall a little bit below this line down here. And then all we're going to do is just sort of curve back towards this line. Not quite on the line, but there you go. So we've got a basis for the, God, I'm so far off camera. Alright, so we've got a basis for the sort of torso area. And what we want to do here now is start making educated guess, because I'm not doing another guide. I only really did a guide for the face. So we just sort of start making guesses now. So we want to do this line straight up here. This will give us the point of the top of the neck, where we'll start to sort of arch downwards. Okay, now when we do the arch down, we want to work out a good distance. So I've got my guide over here. So the distance between these 2 points would be about here. We want to go a little bit outside that, so we're going to go about here. About here is where I'll drop the back of the neck. Now I haven't gone down. I've gone down too steep here. I want to go down to about just below the ear. So that looks about right. And then we'll drop it down a bit there. And there you go. So we've got a little bit of a sharp angle. Again, this isn't accurate lines. I'm just sort of roughly doing these. Let's work out where this one's going to be. So about here is where we'll start going into the traps, or the back muscles. And yeah, let's get this point in here, because this will give us a bit of a hand. So we sort of got this bit of the neck. And where this sort of matches up with this halfway line over here is where we'll begin doing that nice shadow area just here. So let's just mark that off, because it's a nice area in the neck. There you go. And yeah, now we can start doing the shoulder. So the shoulder is going to be similar to how we did this. We're going to sort of make a little grid type thing. But yeah, it's basically the same. You're looking at basically the same size. So let me just double check my measurements so I don't throw you guys off. So I'm looking at a 4.5 there. Okay, well, that's not exactly the greatest of measurement there, but whatever. So we're just going to freestyle this. We're not really going to measure. Let's just do this. Alright, so remember our line here for the square? We want to come a little bit over to about here, just past this point there. And this is where the center of our shoulder is going to be, just here, in this line here. This is the center of our shoulder. So now we want to go across. Let's go across. So we're going to go just a little bit wider than the head. So we've got 4 centimeters here. We're going to go about 4.5 centimeters. So we're going to go about here. What do you reckon? Maybe a little bit further? There? That looks about right. Yeah? Let's go back here. There you go. We've gone a little bit further than the shoulder. And again, let's go halfway. So there's our halfway mark, and our other halfway mark is about here. So we're going to fall just below this one actually, because I have gone too low in regards to this. Remember what I said, these were just rough lines. So yeah, now we just want to draw a circle just in here. So let's figure out how we're going to do this circle about there, because we don't want to go high up on this line here. We want to do this. Something around that looks like a good shoulder area. Okay? And we can also start working out where the arm's going to go. So I just sort of, let's say I'm going to go right up to where the chin is there. So just straight across here. There you go. And same with the other one. We just want to match it. So about there will give us where our biceps are going to go. Somewhere in this area. And so on and so forth. So I'm going to get this done now, because I've got the guides on. And I'll see you guys at the end of the video. Okay? Let's do this. Okay guys, so here it is. This was my quick, saying quick, it was about 15, 16, 17 minutes long video, but I hope this really helped you guys out. I wanted to make an in-depth video because my last one wasn't very in-depth. It was more of me just saying, do this, do that, and here you go. This was more of a technical drawing, not a practical drawing. This isn't the way I recommend drawing, but it is a good way for you to learn and to sort of get an idea and get to grips on how to you know, where positioning things happens and stuff and etc. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did stick around till this end, please say Scooby-Doo in the comments, just so I know that you stuck around. And yeah guys, I'm going to throw up on screen right now a little sneaky project. This is the reason that I did this character. This is the reason I made this reference myself. I got to reiterate that this is my own reference. I made this myself, combining about 6 different images of Goku to make this one perfect image. Well, perfect for me anyway. And yeah, so this is the big, it's huge, it's massive guys. This is the big thing that I'm working on right now. It's a painting, it's going to be epic, and yeah, I hope you guys follow me on Instagram. You'll get to see this when it's finished. And yeah, that'll be in the description. If you did enjoy the video, please like and do subscribe if you want to see some more videos, and leave a suggestion below on what you'd like me to cover next time on this channel. Thank you so much for sticking around this long, and I will see you in the next video. Take care guys, bye bye.